Bam, we're live. Good morning. Whew, this one's going to be a fun one this morning. Wish me luck. If you see me moving around in my chair a lot this morning, yesterday I was just sitting and watching my kids do jiu-jitsu, and I felt it was the only one there. It was a private lesson. It's a bench I sit on all the time, and I was just sitting there, and I'm like, oh, my back feels a little tight. That's a little weird. And the day before, I'd done wall balls and double unders like I'd never done before. I don't think I'd done wall balls in 5 years. For those of you who don't know, wall balls is there's a ball and you throw it up and you bounce. It's a ball. I didn't even use a heavy ball. I used an 8-pound ball, 8 pounds. And you basically throw the ball up, I don't know, like 10 or 12 feet up in there, bounce it off the wall and catch it in a squat and then stand up. And I did a few sets of 20, felt easy. And then I did a set of 40, and I was like, oh, this is good. Next week I'll try a 15-pound ball, and then maybe I'll be ready for a 20-pound ball by the time of the open. And then I did a bunch of double unders, and it felt great. It felt great. I wore shoes for the first time during a workout in a long time. But then yesterday I was sitting in my kids' jiu-jitsu class, and my back seized up, and it just won't let go. I think last night was the first night I ever slept through the night as far back as I could remember. I had 2 shots of NyQuil and 3 Advil. I woke up this morning and stiff as a board. But I did sleep for 9 hours. We moved it. Greg's in Arizona, so he is an hour ahead of me. So we moved this show an hour earlier. I actually like starting really early. And then it's 7 a.m. for him, and then that way he can be done and still do homeschooling with his kids. Cold plunge it, I don't know. I did the exact opposite. I had a really hot cup of coffee this morning. I took a really hot shower. I covered myself with icy hot. I cranked the heat up in here. I have a sweatshirt on. I never do the show with a sweatshirt on. I'm hoping that I can start sweating in here. Maybe I should put my wristbands on too. For me, it's hot. I don't think the cold's going to help, but it's this right leg. I don't even know if I can put the sock on. I'm so fucked up. I had to wipe my butt this morning with my left hand. Try doing that. In honor of me. Everyone wipe their butt with their left hand. I don't know. I don't think I can get this sock on. That's crazy. I'd have to. Nope. I guess I'm just one socking it today. All right. Normally, I don't even wear socks during the show. I just want to get really hot and stay hot. But you're going to see me fidget in this chair a lot today. Someone sent me a testimonial of shit. Maybe I won't. If Greg doesn't show up, maybe I won't even do the show. I'll just go back to bed. I wonder if he is going to show up. Did I send him a link? Oh, yeah, I sent him a link. Oh, there he is. Yo.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How is everybody?
Good. That testimonial you sent me was crazy.
Yeah, I was struck by something, and it's this, that if you took some bell-shaped distribution of humanity's, people's capacity to realize horror,
yeah,
the realities of what happened on October 7th, exceed the imaginative capacities of 85% of the population.
Yeah.
And the people that perpetrate those kinds of evils bank on that. You can't even begin to comprehend it. And it almost guarantees that any reaction to it won't be adequate. But I'll tell you what, Hamas represented the government of those people, however many there are.
Yeah.
And the official, instructed, intended actions of that day and the atrocities that they are should be more than enough for the world to see that whoever these people are, the last thing on the fucking earth they need is a fucking homeland.
Right. Greg sent me a testimonial of a soldier who grabbed a body cam from one of the Hamas terrorists.
Many body cams.
Many body cams. And the specific testimonial that I heard is nothing that I've ever heard the news say. It makes cutting a pregnant woman's stomach open and holding the baby kids play. I mean, it is the most it is the craziest, most complex torture. It is ruthless what they did to these people in front of their family members so that they could watch. It is, you know what's crazy, Greg? I was thinking at some point I'm gonna play that on the show, the testimonial, because everyone needs to hear that. I didn't even know humans were capable of that when I listened to that this morning. I was like, holy shit, I didn't even know. I mean, the complexity of that torture and what they did is it's yeah, I'll post a link. It is and
they need a homeland like Nazis need a homeland, or Al Qaeda needs a homeland.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is something else. And you know what's crazy is that some of the Israeli soldiers said that they didn't want to see it because they wanted to be good soldiers and they didn't want to act out of rage. But boy, oh boy, yeah, I didn't think of it the way you just worded it, Greg. You're right. No group of people, it disqualifies you from having a homeland. That's for sure. This
is where Trump's vision makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's turn it into a fucking Disneyland for developers. And those people can go assimilate into other cultures that are exceedingly reluctant to absorb their numbers. Exceedingly reluctant to absorb their numbers. I think that's going to be forced on them. On the neighbors. Did you see Abdullah with
King Jordan?
Yeah.
No, but someone told me, they're like, hey, dude, this guy speaks better English than 99% of Americans.
He does. And I suspected from his body language that he was more than between a rock and a hard place, and that he's come to realize that he's going to have to take some of these fucking people who immediately upon their arrival in Egypt, in Saudi Arabia, in Jordan, will continue their work to overthrow those governments.
I don't think Saudi Arabia and UAE has much tolerance for that street protest shit.
If push comes to shove, Trump is the king of the land and can determine what they'll all do.
Through financial means?
Yeah, and military.
Oh, right.
With enough pressure, they'll do anything. We've not wanted to be that bully before. And now perhaps it's perceived as something different than bullying. I want the economic leverage of my country pressed upon friends and foes alike to the advantage of all Americans. That's what I want. I don't want Americans to have less of anything so that people in France can have better soap.
Have you seen and Trump is finally giving a voice to scientists who are talking honestly about climate change? Have you heard some of these ups these guys are having now?
Yeah, the climate change discussion alone DQs it from serious thought. They pick climate change because all evidence will always support it.
Because everything is giving off carbon.
No, because the climate has never not been changing.
Right.
We can demonstrate that it's been in continuous flux for 1 billion years. And so what a nice thing to claim some horror is causing, that only you with more power, money, and greater taxes can it be fixed.
Right.
But perfect.
And
Who
then
was it said that it turns out our federal government is what? A bunch of crooks in a federal government skin suit?
yeah, I didn't see that. I think you told me that last night when we were talking on the
Fucking
phone.
great,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That's exactly right. And look at where the pimple festered most at USAID.
Well, I think we're gonna see it worse in other places.
You know what? We need a very, very strong attorney general with the deftness and capability that the Doge crews demonstrated.
It's crazy how fast they've done all this.
No, when Elon, my speculation,
Mhm.
when Elon suggested a uh, uh, governmental agency of efficiency, Department of Governmental Efficiency,
Mhm.
and Trump says, "Well, you can do it." I think he was already working on it.
Ah.
It's a thought experiment, and I think the next thing you do is you go to your buddy Peter, and you talk about if you could just get some high order passwords, what kind of server search would you do to detect what do you use when you get your hands on high level access and you want to do a very quick grab and later deep dive into the particulars of a network, whether it's financial or SIM card. Remember, it used to be whack a guy, take pictures, grab his SIM card, grab some blood, and then set fire to the house or whatever the fucking routine was. But those SIM cards um, and a blood type become powerful information from where you can build networks and backfill and find all kinds of people and basically look at a wall and see who the head of an organization is.
Mm.
And things like duplicate claims and programs and payments, all that stuff can just be grabbed quickly. But it's forensic. The grown-ups showed up on inauguration day with advanced forensic tools that exceeded even the capabilities. These are the guys the federal government hires to crack networks of mobsters and spies and terrorists and shit. And they got in on the White House on inauguration day, got into the federal government, and they figured the whole thing out. By the time the Dems were aware enough to know the jig was up, they're posting fucking LinkedIn job things and crying publicly to friends about their demise. It alone makes Trump easy candidate for a great president.
When they do that,
No one was going to do that.
right, right. When they do that, what do you have you read anywhere what they're looking for? Like, are they looking for redundant payments, or like I heard the whole thing where they found a guy in Social Security who's 150 years old. I mean, that's an easy one.
I want to start with this and then share with you. You can do
Please.
it with money and anything else. If you just took phone calls, and I had say I have an organization and it's got thousands of players, and I don't really know who is who, right? If you get the SIM cards and pull up the records and or monitor traffic, a picture emerges that looks of connections of who talks to who, and a fucking thing looks like an org chart. Everyone talks to this guy who talks to this guy, and each time the people, as you go higher up, fewer and fewer people talk to him. There's one guy at the top who talks to 5 people, who each talk to 10 people. Who the fucking org chart reveals itself visually in just drawing the network's interaction.
Yep, I see it.
There's a guy that's talked to 5 people that have talked to 100 that have talked to 5,000, and then after that guy sent his message, we get 50,000 people doing things in the streets. This dude up at the top's the fucking dude. Find him, whack him.
Yep.
That's what undid Bin Laden. That's what undid the Dems in DC. Same thinking. I know people involved with that software, with those programs, with that effort. I've seen it firsthand. I know what it looks like in the Quonset hut on the walls. The
And
who
so,
talks to who chart.
how do you
To a
think?
point, and you can do it with money. You can get to a point where a 9-year-old can come in and tell you like, where do you want to shoot next?
So basically, they're just like the old phrase goes, they're just following the money.
Only money and comms, money and calls, texts, emails. They probably have all of it. And the shadowy details and organizations and round mysterious bullshit that sits in the middle of what should be an easy payment of 2.5 million to an organization stinks to high heaven.
Let me ask you this. Let me push back on Elon here for a second. I appreciate what he's doing. I appreciate what they're doing. But what do you think him weighing in on the so a reporter said the other day in the White House, they said, "Hey, Elon, you misrepresented the 50 million going to Gaza for condoms. It actually went to Mozambique." And they bought $50 million for the people in condoms in Mozambique and not Gaza. And he said, "Hey, either way, I don't think the American people want to buy another country $50 million in condoms." But shouldn't he just be saying, "Hey, man, like I'm not here to pass judgment. I'm just collecting the information and passing it to Trump." But he's kind of like weighing in on what's fraud. Like they're like, "Hey, he's weighing in on the fact that Sesame Street in Iraq and us giving him $20 million for it's a bad idea." Shouldn't he just be, as the forensics guy, just be giving the information and not weighing in on opinion?
In the piece I sent you by EKO,
Right.
he was being lauded for not speaking in the most general terms as to how fucking bad it is.
Mm.
And that he's pretty much just doing his job and giving specifics enough out to say, hey, this is the kind of thing we're looking for. He's going to leave it to someone else to conclude that. You remember the self-realization where, like, you laughingly come to realize we've only found corruption in the places we've looked.
Right.
That's what a rotten egg looks like. Doesn't matter what little bite you put in your mouth, it still fucking tastes like rotten egg.
Mm-hmm.
If the whole thing's corrupt, it's worse than we could have imagined.
It really is.
Hear about the federal payroll, how that's done in a limestone cave with pencil and paper and no computers?
Dude, you know what's crazy is when they were saying that, I thought they were just joking, and then I looked for it, and there actually is a cave with an elevator, and they truly can only fire up to 10,000 employees a month because the elevator can only carry that much paperwork. I need to do a whole deep dive on that cave.
You know what someone should do?
No one cared, by the way, but let me just say this real quick, and I'll bring you back to where you were. Someone said, I think Elon said, all you need is someone who cares and with some passion. And neither of those existed in the federal government.
You know what someone should do?
What?
Someone should take an enormous budget and then grab 2 kids. You could just take my Rhett and Riley, or let's take Rhett and Avi,
Mm-hmm.
and give them a fat investment from our venture capital, and give them a couple $1 million a year to spend on a business and its development, and just see after 5 years of funding it what it would look like, what kind of monstrosity you'd get. And the idea is because they're little kids and because we're their parents and because we're giving them everything, there's zero accountability, right?
Right.
And to look at the manifestations and the perversions, the snowflake of horror unique to them. You know what I mean? I mean, it could be like, there could be weird shit with Skittles, naked chicks. I mean, you'd be shocked.
Right.
All in the name of their business.
Right.
Eventually you end up with people as stupid as your media team that thought that, not you, the games people, who thought they were running the business. It's amazing what getting something for nothing does to your ability to orient your value, your worth to the world. I first noticed it with hot chicks. They didn't understand a job or fucking what it took to go to Taco Bell and get food.
Right.
That
Right.
was all lost to them. I'd like Taco Bell. There it is.
It always trips me out when my kids will say, that's not very expensive. And it's, it's something that costs like $50. I'm like, what do you mean? How do you know that? You know what I mean? I'm like, what? I'm like, that's crazy expensive.
We've added to the homeschooling domestic skill. I love it. I'm all about the skills. So how about some domestic skills? So what does that look like? Fuck, man, wash a car. Right?
Yeah.
There's a stupid way to do it. There's a way to do it. There's probably a bunch of ways to do it, but one of them does involve taking a rag and rubbing the dirt on the fucking wheel well into the paint, right?
Yeah.
For instance, I mean, this is where they're at.
Right.
And my kids were making the case for just call the guy. And I'm like, we're trying to figure out if you're going to be the guy or not. Not much, just call him. You might not be able to call the guy if you're the guy. The guy doesn't call the guy. The guy's the guy.
Right.
And you all might be the guy. And so we're going to learn to do this thing. And you might figure out you don't want to be the guy.
Right.
But call the guy. That's like some magic shit. So we washed the car. We're going to make yogurt. We're doing things. It's a skill.
Yesterday, one of my kids.
I got to interrupt. I watched adults that don't know how to clean up a mess on a counter. Simple thing. Homemaker.
Like someone spilt milk on the counter and someone.
No, you could see what was for breakfast. There's the this, the that, the this on the counter. The plates are gone. And then you whack that shit hard with the 409. So now you have all of like a small portion of breakfast for a Barbie spread out onto the counter and flocked like a Himalayan range with 409. And then you rub that into the marble. And I'm sitting there just like, fuck, man. I would have been reoriented at 4 on that shit.
Right.
Macro to micro, dude. Get the big pieces and then come at the 409 when it looks clean, right?
Yeah.
That's got to be taught, dude.
Christine Young, my husband.
Hey, I remember on 2 occasions walking into a home where we were guests to find that my forward progress was impelled by my left ear's lack of progress. And I had forgotten to wipe my feet and my ear remained right over the W on the welcome mat. And you get back like, oh, okay, fucker, wipe your feet. I wipe my feet every time I go into someone's fucking house.
Right.
You know why? Because it's what you do.
Right.
It's one of the ways you manifest giving a fuck about other people.
Right. My kids wanted some those tattoos where you put them on your skin and you put water on top of it and it sticks to their skin.
Yeah.
And so yesterday I go into the back side of the house and the playroom lights on, the hallway lights on, and the bedroom lights on. And I'm like, hey guys, you have to turn those lights off or else you don't get tattoos. And I go, these lights, you leave these lights on for 6 hours and that's one package of tattoos. Like all this shit costs money. Like when you turn the lights on, it's not free. Like there's this a meter. I show them, take them outside. I show them the meter. I'm like, this thing's measuring how much fucking electricity we use. And then someone sends us a bill for that shit. Leaving flashlights on, like when they build fort houses and then they build forts and they take flashlights under there. And then later on, they've moved on to something else and the flashlights are in there. I'm like, guys, these take batteries. These batteries cost money. Like you left the flashlights on.
Hey, go by my house with the boys and check out Trinette Willie's.
Is he there now?
Yeah, he's like he's done a shit ton already.
I think we're about to have like 3 days of steady rain, by the way.
This is why I'm not there checking it out.
I wonder if he's yeah, we have rain today, tomorrow, and Friday. Like basically 85% chance, 100% chance, 75% chance.
Yeah. I'm getting some residual over here.
I tried to get strong in the last month, and yesterday my back seized up. I wasn't even doing anything. You know what I mean? I was just sitting in a chair. But I know what caused it. Just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Acting like I'm 30 again.
Too big a bite.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad it's raining, though. Hopefully that'll keep me still.
The trajectory, the reasonable trajectory is so much lower than you would intuit. And it's hard to have the discipline in front of the weights. To have the testosterone to want to lift confounds the need for the discipline that takes the low trajectory. And for a lot of people, those careers are just governed by their injury rate. They don't figure it out, but the injuries take care of it.
Right.
But you really are trying to sneak eggs out from under the goose. Your body shouldn't have the experience of what the fuck was that. It should be similar enough to something it's seen before that you don't set off alarms.
Right.
And so you tell someone you're going to advance your deadlift by 5 pounds a month, and they go, that ain't shit. I'm like, dude, look at what that is in 3 years, retard.
Right.
Except we don't say retard anymore.
I think it's back.
Is it? It's okay now?
It's back. Yeah, you can call someone retards. It's chill. Like if you see someone with like a service dog, they're making an what's the word, admonition that they're retarded. And they don't mind it. They're cool. 100-pound dumbbells. No. What is this? What's wrong with your back? Is it attached to your pussy? I expect nothing else.
That's clever.
Hey, when he says the judges, I keep hearing that the judges have put some interference in the process.
Yeah, and and the likes of, let me shut the door to block barking.
Okay. I'm just wondering how judges, it seems legit to hire someone to do an audit. I don't see anything wrong with it on the bureaucrats to hire another. I mean, basically, Elon's just another bureaucrat they're hiring to audit the bureaucrats, right?
Yeah, when you got Turley and you and Gowdy saying it's not going to survive court that this judge's stay isn't going to hold, I believe him.
I wonder what the argument is, though.
It doesn't matter. It's bad. It hurts. It's bad. They have to stop it. So you'd file under any pretense that you thought had chance of working with the judge that you're in front of. The argument will shift depending on what they get in front of, too. All the way up to the Supremes, it'll be a much subdued argument.
And what do they do, trying to buy time to destroy the evidence?
They don't want Trump pointing out what crooks and frauds they all are. What a give your hardworking money away piece of shit our government is. How that this government of the people, by the people, for the people, it's none of that. It's as bad as the biggest detractor said.
Or worse. Just like I thought the Hamas shit was bad until I heard what you sent me last night. Like I thought it was just killing and burning babies and beheading babies. I had no idea that it was
Isn't that young man very much the American equivalent of some of the Delta Team 6 guys we know?
Yeah, the Jew that was like the Jew warrior.
With the ball cap on the Pendleton.
He's great. Yeah. What a classic.
I could tell that his tears could be in a microsecond channeled to pinpoint unstoppable lethality. Dude, he's fighting God's fight.
Every person who weighs in on the subject should have to watch that footage. Not just hear the description, but should have to watch that footage in order before you weigh in on it. I was wondering whether I should send that to my mom and my sister, just so that not for any reason like that. They don't have. I haven't talked to them about their opinions. I don't have any like Free Palestine protesters in my family, but just so that I wasn't sure because it's so brutal. But like part of me was like, it kind of makes it makes the thing is with all the brutality, it makes all the actions that are happening way more palatable. Like no one would ever want to live next to a neighbor. Like what if you found out your neighbor was over there like doing that shit? You would never want to live next door to that guy.
Look, forget whose fault it is.
Right.
Forget fault. The culture that festered that has to be eliminated.
Right.
I mean, that's what happened. That's what happened in Germany. They basically lost their culture. No.
Yeah.
I mean, like it might seem the same to outsiders, but it came back American style. Very different value set. Germany's a very different place today, and so is Japan than it was pre-war. For instance, the population generally knows instinctively of some bad ideas, like getting involved in a war with the US.
Right. Right.
There's not a Japanese that doesn't know what a horrible fucking idea that was.
Right.
They'll bear that stain like ours of slavery.
Mm.
We picked a stupid fight and suffered immeasurably for it.
Mm.
Big mistake. Needless. Arrogant. Cruel. Everything was stupid about it, and we paid an unimaginable price. The Russians haven't really learned that. They were more on the receiving end, you know?
It's going to be great when Elon goes into the Pentagon.
Putin might be in a really bad situation, Zevi.
With Ukraine?
Economically.
Oh. I want to hear what you have to say, but I also want to talk about at some point. Someone texted me last night and they're like, "Holy shit, we just released a prisoner from Russia. Russia just released a U.S. prisoner, and he flew straight to the White House and did a press conference with Trump." And I'm like, "Holy shit, I cannot believe how much Trump is doing." Like that.
Two of them.
Two of them.
Oh yeah, like Putin gifts.
So tell me. I'm going to come back to that. What do you think's going on economically with Russia? And what makes you think that shit's like going sideways there?
Outside of mainstream media, I see things about the currency and the reserve, and it doesn't look good
for them.
Yeah.
Like how bad? Like so bad that like he could lose power?
Yeah, they could have some hyperinflation here. They've already got some pretty gnarly inflation. It could get bad. He won't survive that. I wouldn't think.
And what happened yesterday? Trump negotiated a hostage release with the Russians?
There's no talk of what happened, and I think it's kind of a bit of a dowry. I think they're going to come to the bargaining table. I think Putin needs to. hypothesis. It seems likely to me, but I think Putin and Zelensky are both weary, and I think the economic cost to Putin threaten his political hold.
All of this shit that he's doing in the Oval Office, like Elon Musk with his kid on his shoulder, bringing hostages back and bringing them straight to the White House, all this comms he's having with the American people, it's amazing. I can't tell you how much I'm enjoying it and how much I like it and how much trust it's given me. The more comms we get, the more trust I have in him. And I loved Elon's answer when they asked him, like, "Hey, what do you think about you saying that we spent $50 million in condoms to Gaza, but it was really Mozambique?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to get shit wrong," instead of defending it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything about the government. Freed American hostage Mark Fogel landed in U.S. after years in Russian captivity. Fogel, a history teacher, was working at the Anglo-American School in Moscow, returned to the U.S. after his release from Russia following talks with Trump administration. He was serving 14-year sentence after his arrest in 2021 at the Russian airport for possession of drugs, which his family said were medically prescribed marijuana. Fogel was seen in pictures posted by the White House on social media, smiling, raising his fist while wrapped in an American flag as he walked off the plane. This is amazing. I wonder. I would love to know if he was a Trump supporter before this. Probably not if he was a school teacher, right?
School teacher with weed.
Yeah. He hated Trump.
How many years did they have him?
It sounds like they had him since 2021, but he wasn't supposed to get out for 14 years. So he shouldn't got out till 2035. When asked by reporters on Tuesday whether the U.S. had given up anything in return for Fogel, Trump replied, "Not much." And then he went straight to the White House and did it straight to the Oval Office, I guess.
It's Russian collaboration.
Wouldn't you like to know? You think it's like Trump getting on the phone with Putin? Hey, let that dude go.
I think it's a gift. I think Putin's in a bad fucking position. I think China is too. I think the first adult that gets at the steering wheel of this great nation realizes that it has the strengths, the margins, the economy, the geographical position, so many things its advantage that if you just drive this thing correctly, every entity on earth will behave to our advantage. That's what I think.
You saw this, I'm sure.
You ever seen individuals or cops stop bullies?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. I don't know if I've seen cops, but I've seen individuals do it.
Tom Kruba and I, as young lads, were in Westwood doing something at UCLA Gymnastics. And we went through a pizza place and looked in a window, and a bunch of fucking biker guys flipped us off and told us to get away from the pizza place. And I flipped them off, and they poured out and surrounded us and pretty much scared us, you know. And they let us go and went back in, and all of a sudden these guys whistled and came running over, and it was UC police, and they had seen the encounter through the fence and wanted us to go back again and flip these guys off in the window. Look in the window and flip them off. And I look, and there's 35 guys in the parking lot.
Like cops?
Yeah, all with vests and guns and sticks and dogs. They're like, "Are you kidding me?" Gladly serve the state of California proudly.
Yeah.
Back to the pizza place, looked in the window. They looked over, tapped on the glass. double bird from Three Little Kids, right?
Yeah.
The dudes poured out of the place and were met with the thunderous assault of big dudes with clubs and butch haircuts, just clubbing them to the ground, beating long hairs into unconsciousness.
Oh, shit.
It was a melee. I mean, they beat these guys. And then we had explained to us that the premises were leased to the proprietor, which was like Shakey's fucking Pizza or something, by the University of California. And they charge rent. And these guys are no good for business. And so they gave him the UCLA, welcome to the UCLA treatment, state police style. It was great. But it made it a better pizza place, Sevy.
Yeah, without those guys in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Our Capitola's this way. Great place to bring your family.
Right.
You make a whole list of things you won't endure down there. No one's going to come over and jerk off on your fucking kid's towel. You know what I mean? Like that. Nothing.
Yeah.
No one's going to steal anything out of your car.
I've lived here for 8 years, and, we have all the different police here, and those are the only police who've ever pulled me over.
Dude, that place is gnarly.
Yeah, they keep it tight. They run a tight ship.
It's great. The bouncers there feel sorry for the people that they call the cops on. And talk to them. I mean, I literally fucking hate to do it. It's ugly when it happens. They come through the door and they look for the bouncer they know by name, and he points to someone, and that person just gets meleeed, physically pummeled, drug out by the fucking shoes. Next. It doesn't happen often. You could be new to San Jose when you go over there to start shit, thinking you're in San Jose.
Right.
Los Gatos is the same way, bud.
Yeah. No, and
your mouth full of baton, start shit in Los Gatos. And as a result, nobody does.
I heard someone say, you heard this, maybe you told me this story, but there was a guy who owned a bike shop, the one that's right on Pacific.
Yep, Cathcart.
And he went to the council meeting in Santa Cruz, and he's like, hey, we got to get rid of the homeless people. They're fucking up the business. And the council said, hey, it's complex. We're working on it. And he's like, it's not complex. Just go over and ask Los Gatos what they're doing. They have no homeless
people. They asked him what they should do. And he goes, I don't know, but your counterparts in Los Gatos and Capitola both know.
Yeah, there's no homeless in Capitola either.
Go ask them.
Yeah.
Do what they do. Yeah, I'm sure it would work here. I'm sitting there like, oh, this is fucking genius. That was a Taft High kid, by the way. Hugh was his name. He was. That kid, Hugh, that owned the Spokesman, it was called, on Cathcart in Santa Cruz. Good shop. It was our shop before our current shop.
Did you see the Gulf of Mexico got changed?
It's the Gulf of America now, right?
Yeah.
And I'm used to it.
You're what?
Used to it already.
Yeah.
We got family and property there in Gulf Shores.
What's weird though?
The house is worth more now. It's in the Gulf of America.
Earlier when I had zoomed out to such a point, it switched back to Gulf of Mexico, but now it's only Gulf of America. Interesting. Yesterday, it would still say, it said Gulf of Mexico and Gulf of America in parentheses. Now it's just Gulf of America.
What do we have to officially change it? Let a certain amount of fentanyl through?
Damn. And then did you see this? Did you see the FEMA lady got fired? The director of FEMA got fired?
Well, why?
I guess there was a freeze on FEMA was to freeze all payments, and the director still pushed out $60 million to hotels to the city of New York City.
You think there's any kickbacks associated with any of that?
100%. Uh, 100%.
Maggie was suspecting that the hotels were COVID bombshells and not real hotels. It's like these immigrants that are in there are in empty buildings that used to be hotels. and they've since fallen. And it's not like they got a key and room service and turn down and shit. And I'm wondering.
So the stuff, the investigations I've done on the Roosevelt is they kept operating it the same, changing their sheets every day.
Is that right?
Yeah, the Roosevelt was a luxury hotel, and they loaded them in there, and they kept treating it just like a hotel.
Right.
Yeah.
So you saw these programs, and it's like, no, like, 5 million, 20 million, 15 million, 30 million, 50, 70 for different shit, right?
Yeah.
Each of those needs to be looked at in terms of like what we figure, 3 million would make 10 families whole with cars and
yeah,
whatever they had for home.
Right.
Could likely replace it.
Yeah, car and a double wide back on your property. And
I mean, I didn't want to do the double wide thing, but I've got family in double wides. I got family in the South, and you don't live in the South without cousins or somebody in double wides, right?
I mean, my mom lives in a neighborhood with $700,000 and $1 million double wides because it's Santa Cruz.
The superintendent of my build works in one.
Santa Cruz is full of double wides.
Full.
Yeah.
There's one in Capitola, dude. I've had more than a few times I've wondered what it'd be like to just sit there, retired on the porch, looking into the ocean with your dog in your double wide.
There's
I'm talking about on Wharf Road.
I don't know where it is, but in the Jewel Box, there's a trailer park there that overlooks Capitola, and the HOA there is $3,000 a month, and it's all fucking double wides.
Yep, or single wides.
Yeah, single wides, whatever. Yeah, they're little tiny. They're whatever they are. They're the stuff that, like in the movies, only white trash.
As you're going downhill, it's on the left before it gets real steep, just past the tree on the cliff.
Yep. And
how about that house on the cliff with the tree?
Yeah, sick. I know exactly which one you're talking about. At the very top of the hill before it goes down.
I would be afraid to even VRBO that thing.
I never see people at that house. I never see people at any of those monsters.
I don't know if it's physically condemned or not.
Yeah. So what were you going to say? If you gave them $30 million, you could make what 10 families whole?
You could just the number of families that could be made whole, that who's suffering from the devastation of that hurricane are legion. I mean, it's a lot of money, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars.
So instead of paying the hotel bill for New York City for a day, they could make 150 families whole.
We spend millions of dollars on transvestite theater,
right,
in foreign countries,
right,
where they're beheading fucking homosexuals.
Right.
I mean, it's like I don't think that's where the money went. I got a funny feeling. Hey, we'll tell you, when we were in fucking Kenya, in the Zendereni Highland District, an hour and a half, 2 hours outside of Mombasa up in the mountains, and we had it explained to us just plain as day that someone had been beheaded last year, a young lad from the village, for homosexuality.
Yep, I remember.
You just sit there and listen to that shit. Yeah, okay. Love your culture. We'll be back soon.
Right.
You're welcome for the water. I want to know why it was just one guy beheaded.
I remember you asking that. I remember that.
Yeah, remember that?
That was amazing.
They brought that goat, and I'm going, don't cut it. Don't slit his fucking throat in my lap. What an experience, man.
I wonder if we're going to see any big names fall.
What, like P. Diddy? What do you mean?
Just like people, politicians are going to get exposed.
Well, amongst other things, is a lot of the influence, the lucre that the money that lubes the influence system is going to dry up. They're going to destroy those avenues of payment. That was, I think, step 4 in that list of things. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. The kids are cool too. Have you seen any biographies on the kids who are working with Elon?
Nope.
I'll send you. I saw a short doc on one of them. They're really cool kids. Like they're the kind of kids who enter contests like where it's like $30 million from Google on how to figure out like what these scrolls say. You know what I mean? And then the kids like they're great kids. They're all just dorks. They're just excited to put their skills to use. All wear glasses, skinny, clothes don't fit right. All like, you know, they've done like, you know, really cool shit at school.
Yeah, they're fueled by Mountain Dew and Doritos.
Yeah. I think I heard like Elon says he walks in there and there's just energy drinks everywhere.
We knew someone that was running a organization that ended up in a 10-figure purchase that was doing some critical coding with a kid they were paying in Mountain Dew and Doritos.
Wow.
And then
the company that's over the hill?
it was a Santa Cruz-based effort that did exceedingly well in the end. And the story was being told, it was like he was just kind of hanging out, you know? It's funny. No one intended it to be that way, but the state got wind of it and changed everything for the kid. His mom was just glad to have him by the house.
Did Jay is Jay running the NIH? Has that happened yet?
I haven't heard anything. I suspect that one, you know, and it doesn't make the list of iffy appointments either, right?
I mean, I've seen some left wing controversy, like posts put out about him being like, you know, a COVID denier and shit like that.
COVID denier.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Trump's NIH pick co-founded new journal. Many U.S. COVID policies critics involved in the Journal of the Academy of Public Health. The new journal purports to improve the publishing process through open access and public peer review, but it was co-founded by researchers who challenged the U.S. response to COVID. Oh, and one of them is Jay Bhattacharya. President Trump's pick to lead the NIH. So I guess he hasn't been. Does that go through a confirmation? The head of the NIH? I thought that.
I think so.
I thought once RFK's.
Of course it does.
I thought once RFK's in power, he can just put anyone in that position. Isn't it under his purview?
No, he's just at I think a cabinet level position, right?
Yeah, these journals sound like that they were just fucking money making scams anyway. Commercial publishers have a corner on the journal market, with the universities paying an enormous amount of money for journals that contain articles that are both written and peer reviewed by their own scientists, which they provide to journals for free. Journals have 40% profit margins. Oh, man. That's going to be another one that's crazy when they get into the NIH and the CDC. They're auditing them at a really insane speed.
I don't know if there are forces great enough to counteract NIH and I'm sorry, Big Pharma and Big Soda.
You mean they might be able to fight back better than USAID because of all the money there? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
They have enough money to bribe even the most moral character. Or
Yeah, I think, like, for instance, Pharma's hold on CNN and Fox is perfect.
did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did, in fact.
Did you see the commercial that they had for,
In part, so I wouldn't have to talk to anyone.
oh. One of these, Ozempic companies, I don't know what exactly they were selling, but they were selling a weight loss drug. They opened the first 2 minutes or first minute of the commercial, was a really long commercial, is how corrupt pharma is, and uh, thank God there's us because we're not corrupt.
Okay.
In the first minute, you thought for sure, you're like, "Holy shit, someone bought a Super Bowl commercial ass pounding pharma," and then you found out it's just pharma, like, getting ahead of the story, you know? They got this package, Greg, that you can buy. I think the name of the company is Him or something, just HIM.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a bottle in there there's 3 bottles in there, one for hair loss, one for weight loss, and one to make your dick hard. The 3 bottles.
They'd go all together, right?
Yeah, and you buy them all together in a little box. You take the pills, and your hair grows back, your dick gets hard, and you get skinny.
It's like the John Kramer pill. Right?
Yeah. Through many years of my life, I've said, "Hey, what a great time to be alive," but now I really mean it. Did you think you'd ever see this in your lifetime?
No.
Yeah.
No, but I was explaining to someone the other day that the overnight pace with which we lost our collective sanity
Mhm.
was discomforting in much the way that our regaining of it is discomforting. Like, I don't understand how that happened. I don't understand what made it go away.
You don't understand what made it happen or what made it go away.
Right.
Right.
I mean, you're sitting at the table next to people at family events now. Yeah, that was fucked up, huh? You know, I'm like, yeah, dude, it was you. You know, like, yeah, it was fucked up. You were all the fuck about it, and now you're like, wow, whew, that was something else. This isn't too far from. I was laughing the other day at it, explaining of someone was talking about someone getting foreclosed on. And I go, you get foreclosed on. You fucking didn't pay your mortgage. You don't put it in a passive voice. I got foreclosed on. I even like the shitty sentence structure that's required to pull off something that preposterous.
Like it's blaming someone else for something you did.
It's like a meteor that came through the fucking window and hit you in the chair while you were fucking paying your bills.
Right, right.
I got out of the blue. I got foreclosed on. No, it was not having made your house payment in 3 months.
Right.
That's what happened.
So your shit got taken.
But the people that own it took it back.
Right, right. Even more accurate. Right.
You had a deal.
Yeah. You know that phenomenon, like when you're coaching, like if your kid's climbing a fence, how you're not supposed to say "don't fall," you're supposed to say "hold on tight," because the way the human brain works, like if you say "don't do something," or the brain will do it. Or if you're like riding your bike and you want to ride between 2 fire poles, you don't look at the poles, you look between them.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about all the Super Bowl commercials. They were acting to be they feigned to be, or not all of them, a lot of them. They were feigning to like be helpful and like provide unity or stop hate or whatever, but really they were just encouraging it. Like this thing with Snoop Dogg and the Tom Brady guy. They said, "Please stop the hate. We're in such a bad place. It's weird that we even have to make a commercial like this." And I'm thinking to myself, I see less hate than ever in my lifetime right now. Like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like what? Who are they talking to? And there's this feigning of trying to help the situation when really you're just planting seeds of fucking failure.
Yeah, I equate the NFL with dropping a knee.
Me too.
And dropping the knee is my reminder to make sure with every bit of my energy that no cent of mine ever gets into the hands of that organization or anyone associated with it.
Right.
And so I've got a problem with the advertisers. And so I really enjoyed how fucking bad the commercials were.
Oh, it was a disaster.
Actually amazing. But look, were people that were stripped like a planet gets removed of its atmosphere. We lost our sense of humor.
Mm.
And it's gonna take a while to get it back. Probably 3 or 4 years.
I love Post Malone and Shane Gillis, like their work as performers, and they did a Budweiser commercial that I didn't even know. It looks like they just took a bunch of shots and put them together. Like there was no story, no premise, I didn't even get the joke. I didn't even know what the fuck was going on. I was like, wow, this is bad. I heard these two guys who are like diehard NFL fans saying it was the first time there wasn't one memorable commercial in the Super Bowl.
So I watched the Kendrick Lamar halftime.
Yeah.
And
you have to be very smart to understand that performance, Greg. I've read several articles on it. You have to be very smart.
Yeah, I'm not smart enough, but and proud that I'm not. But it was exceedingly bad. And then I was thinking, like who would I have had instead? I don't know. Someone said jelly roll, and I said, yeah, that'd be great. But it's kind of interesting how it doesn't matter. Fuck the NFL. But when I was a kid at halftime, when the marching band came out,
yeah,
all the guys quit looking. The only people that really watched the marching band and the majorettes and the cheerleaders were the gay people. Maybe some chicks. I like the halftime the best, the women would say. And the guys would be off doing beer-like things or pissing or getting something to eat. You know what I mean? It was a break.
Right.
It didn't matter. And I was laughing that fucking Kendrick Lamar is now he's the majorette, the big band, the marching band, the guy with the tuba, like I don't know who he is, what he's saying, and I don't care. And I was annoyed that I had to catch some glimmer of something about a beef with Drake.
He's pushing the narrative of white liberal women from Berkeley, and he's a black gangster rapper. That's the part that like I don't understand why everyone doesn't see that. Like that's the narrative that's being directed by every weird video you see on Instagram of a white lady saying that black people matter. It's so fucking bizarre to me that he's the representative of white rich women. Like he's completely lost his fucking way. It's bizarre. Jeremy E. World National Fuck Off League. Yeah. I did really enjoy the game. I loved watching.
I enjoyed the game.
Yeah, I thought the athleticism was incredible. I thought
I liked the it was funny. I had a house full of people whose primary interest in mild enthusiasm for the Eagles, newfound mild enthusiasm for the Eagles, was Taylor Swift directed. And someone said, "Oh, your fandom runs that deep." Go, yeah, that deep. That's about it.
Yeah.
But I was thinking of popularity again, and remember, like Stern musing that a third of his listeners were there because they hate him and want to hear every word, waiting for him to fuck up.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that as impressive as that is, there's maybe another reality at play. And like pick a number for just Taylor Swift, God bless her. She's our 15 minutes of fame kind of thing right now. Pick a number of fans for her. Pick it.
100 million.
Yeah, I think that's shy. I was going to give her 200 million.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
But what I'd do is I'd turn your attention to a moment to the population of the Earth minus 200 million.
Yeah.
And tell you that there's probably 3 times the fan base in there that actually know who she is and don't like her.
Right. Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And so I don't think you get 200 million fans without 500 million people who know who you are and do not like you. But they're not relevant. They're not paying. And so when she's booed at the Super Bowl, she says, "What's going on?" It's like, I has no clue.
Oh, you think she didn't have a clue?
It does. The experts lip read her.
Oh, wow.
And I always thought, when I saw it, my reaction was I was announcing to the room, it's cute. She's dealing with it well. She's taking it in stride.
That's what I thought.
When I hear the lip readers go, she says, "What's going on?" I watch again. I'm like, oh, fuck, that cuteness is someone explain it to me.
Caller, hi.
Hey, how are you? So I heard you guys talking about people not being funny anymore, and you can't even make a joke. What about Kanye West? I mean, I thought that was the funniest thing ever. The guy spends all this money for an advertisement on the Super Bowl, and then you go to his website, it's a bunch of swastika tattoo shirts.
Wow. Did he? I didn't know he had a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah, like he advertised it on the Super Bowl. This was the article said. I didn't see the Super Bowl, but they're saying he did that. And then when you went to the website, it was a bunch of shirts with swastikas on it. And the funny part is the people that would have told you last year, 2 years ago, that black people can't be racist are now calling him racist, which I think is funny as hell, man.
Oh,
I think it's funny.
That's a great point.
That is,
yeah, that's hilarious. You're right.
Yeah.
Is this the commercial? Can you see the screen? Is it him just sitting in bed, like at a hospital?
I can't see the screen. I'm sitting outside McDonald's right now trying to get a coffee.
Oh, all right. Where? Which McDonald's?
In Paramus, New Jersey.
Okay. Well, there's a Paper Street Coffee in New Jersey. Tell him I sent you.
All right, you got it.
Oh,
thanks,
good.
Guys.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, that is funny. They said black people can't be racist, and now Kanye's racist. What was the website? I'm going to go there. Yeezy.com. Wow, he bought a Super Bowl commercial. Oh, it's gone. The site's gone.
You know what's interesting, Sebi?
What?
So I've been watching it dropped in my news feeds are like, Vanity Fair, Vogue. I'm seeing things about shear this and shear that and the nipples in and just these the top 10 of the most revealing dresses at this year's whatever. And there's a fashion world enormous enthusiasm for titties and butts and slits that go up high and who can be most naked on stage, right?
Right.
And then Bianca just stands there ass naked and it's vile and obscene and it's universally hated. I was like, wow.
I couldn't believe how good her body is, to be honest. That's all I thought. I didn't even know a body could look like that. I can't believe how it was crazy. I think her tits are real. That's not an easy dress to pull off, dude.
To pull off?
Like that, like you could have a body that's a 10, but you put that dress on and it makes you look frumpy. You know what I mean? That dress was incredible. I didn't hear any people were ripping on her. I didn't know she got ripped on for that.
The same people that were celebrating the sheerness of hot fashion were upper ass, tasteless, vulgar, obscene.
God, I was so impressed. Oh, is Bianca's outfit illegal? Oh, she's an Australian architect. She's an architect?
She is.
Oh, maybe her boobs aren't real. Maybe I'm out of my mind. I wonder what YouTube's going to think if I pull up her Instagram. Jesus. Yeah, so whenever she goes out, she just goes out unclothed.
I'm sorry?
It looks like whenever she leaves the house, she goes unclothed. For years, there was like this story that he was holding her hostage. You remember those stories? He was holding her against her will. Pat Lang, I think those babies are real.
No, man, I don't have an opinion.
The Blueprint produced by Kanye. Now he married an architect. Coincidence? I think not. The Blueprint produced by, I don't know what that is. Is that the name of one of his albums? Nothing about her is real. Yeah, that dress is insane. I wonder if they sold that dress.
Without contextualizing who this was, I was somewhere with you once.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, check her out in those crazy fake titties.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you, hold my beer. That's not fake. Let me show you fake. And I went over and talked to her. You remember that?
I do.
Yep. So how's your deadlift coming, honey?
There's 1,000 great moments like that. Standy, I've touched for make tits than you, Pat. Or those are fake. Oh, I've touched more fake tits than you, Pat. Those are fake. All right, fine. I take your word for it. All right, I'm ready to get out of this chair. I'm supposed to go. I'm supposed to go. There was a guy in town, a cool guy. You've met him before. He's a pastor. I'm supposed to, and he's a CrossFitter. And I'm supposed to go to lunch with him today at Cafe Cruz at noon. But I think I should call and cancel. I don't think I can sit in a
Who
chair.
is this?
I don't know if I should say his name. I mean, I don't know why I wouldn't say his name. But he was a pastor.
Married Amundsen?
I don't know, but he's a pastor for professional sports teams.
Oh,
yeah, good dude, great dude, big handsome man. Trains with my mom.
Okay.
Yeah. Sevy, you getting saved? I don't know. I was gonna. I think he wants to talk about like setting up a podcast studio. I was gonna ask him some questions I've been watching the movie The Chosen. Have you seen that movie The Chosen?
I might have seen an earlier version, but is it the Chaim Potek story?
It's a crowd-funded story of Jesus. It's 4 seasons.
Oh.
And I'm really enjoying it. But you know what's crazy? What I found last night as I was laying in bed with a heating pad and icy hot on my back, there's a documentary about what it's like playing Jesus and how that fucks with actors. Because, you know, once you play Jesus, like everywhere you go on the street, people think like you're Jesus. How, you know what I mean? Everyone's like, I love you, and tries to touch you and shit. And it was that documentary was crowdfunded too.
Like Tom Harmon did a great job of playing Ted Bundy.
Uh-huh.
And I heard from very close sources that it just absolutely destroyed his pussy game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He just, from then on, he sent chills up women's spines. He was a great Ted Bundy.
I bet you playing Jesus
Mark
doesn't.
Harmon. Tom's the dad.
Yeah, Mark Harmon.
Mark.
And Mark had crazy pussy game.
He was a good-looking kid.
Yeah. He used to do the commercials on the Super Bowl everyone loved, like Coors Light or something, or Coors.
I would have, you know, you can put that one in the bank as a representative and tell the kid, you know, you don't want to play that role. You don't want to play the part of a good-looking serial killer.
Made by Mormons, not crowdfunded. No, it's crowdfunded. The Chosen isn't made by Mormons. The documentary is definitely, I don't think, Chosen.
I think Mormons could crowdfund.
Oh, they can do that. Chosen is a Christian TV series that has been funded primarily through crowdfunding. It's become the most successful crowdfunded TV series in history.
Yeah, I think Mormons could bang the pie tin with the wooden spoon and crowdfund anything.
Right.
Grassroots that thing to the top. Hey, you know, many of my friends had a easy Super Bowl pick in the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because of Andy Reid. And you know why?
Why?
He's devout in the LDS church.
Oh.
And so I had a living room with people very, very, very much hoping that the Chiefs did well.
His wife collects antique quilts. I just typed in Andy Reid affiliate or religious affiliation. Oh yeah, LDS.
He might be a bishop or something.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, I think you're right. That there's some like him wearing garbs and shit.
Yeah, he's not the Imperial Wizard or whatever, but.
Oh no, this is definitely not. I thought this was religious garb, and then I made the picture big. I don't know what this is. He's wearing a purple chain and a Kansas City. This is not. I thought
it's NFL wear.
I thought that was a robe.
There's a gift from the players. Hey, I like this time better. I hope it works for you and everyone.
Dude, it's great. I went to bed like I went to bed early last night. I took 2 shots of NyQuil and 3 Advil, and
I was up weird late.
Oh, you look good. You don't look like you were up weird late.
I set up a balance beam for Riley last night. It's 65 pounds and sits 2 inches above the ground. It's a little indoor practice kind of beam, you know.
Who makes it? It must be a good one if it's 65 pounds.
Rumble Track.
Oh, wow.
And so the kids are all over it. But I set it up, and the intent was to take it out this morning. And last night, near midnight, I was making another run to the fridge. And I tangled up in the thing and went down. It was great. Just like so of my own creation. Right where I assembled it.
Hey, is it one that you can lift and raise?
At the height, it's just at the height for your toe to go under.
Yes.
But it's not moving.
Yes. Okay, I see it. Yeah, they make good shit. They make good shit. It's got those little purple things on the bottom.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, the Addy balance beam. Yeah, they make such good stuff.
Yep. I tell you, man, some Atta girls and $5 trophies, and I got a little girl with the gymnastics book bad.
Where is this thing in your house?
It was in the hallway, right?
Yeah, that thing's lethal.
Yeah, it's gnarly. The perfect trip device.
Is she doing cartwheels on it? And
oh yeah, all the girls. Yeah, everyone but Remington, the 6-month-old. They can all do cartwheels on a beam.
That's cool.
Yeah, Reason got ID'd for moving well and is pulled into a pathway. It's kind of.
And she's loving it.
You'll Sev, then this is. I think you'll appreciate this. Let's say she's going right on the cartwheel.
Mm-hmm.
Her right hand goes down within about 10 inches of her right foot. So she can almost do the thing in place.
Yeah.
So a full rotation moves her over 18 inches. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's beautiful.
It's really cool. It's like, wow. And they're all just, emulating their older sister. But Riley's got the bug. And last night they had a pizza party and it was celebrating that no one fell off the beam during their routine. And which is it's an unusual occurrence, actually, even at good levels. But she did well enough at each event to get the bronze in the all around without doing better than bronze in any event, which is just what you'd want to see with someone green.
And she loved it.
She got to go home with some medals, clink, clink. It's weird what that fuels.
Yeah.
Some Atta girls, a pizza party, picture taken. They've really got something with the click, click, and the flashing lights and the clinking of the metals and the bright colors. They've got it's there for little girls like it's never for boys. There's such crazy different sports, really.
Men's and women's gymnastics?
Uh-huh.
What do you mean?
Well, first of all, you got to be extremely careful even talking about it. And the best person to talk to about it is the girls that have witnessed the boys. It's just fun to hear.
Like, can you tell me what you see is the difference or what they say is the difference?
Well, there's an enormous amount of dancy little ass shaking cuteness, wiggle your butt and look over your shoulder shit that would knock you back about a decade in competition if you pulled anything that off as a male. I can't even imagine what an ass shake would do for you in a free extra team. I think if I were a judge, I could see refusing to score you.
But it gets you on the cover of Sports Illustrated, though.
We probably would.
Or Times Man of the Year.
I just don't know anyone who wants to do that to their career. I think you'd do better to just spit in the face and slap the lead judge than go up.
You think it's still like that?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's a very different thing. The girls spitting around, it's always made me a little uncomfortable.
Like, hey, dude, this isn't a striptease.
It's got some John Benet Ramsey thing going on, that I'm a little like, really, ladies? Like, I wouldn't mind being an influence on that sport for oh, geez.
You mean like it's got a little beauty contest instead of...
Yeah, I would reduce the cuteness by 98% and give it at least the athletic sobriety of volleyball.
The volleyball outfits are ridiculous.
They should be having as much fun as beach volleyball girls are. And that's none.
Right.
It's a lion's den,
Right.
And their little hearts are that cold. Their smiles are fake as fuck. Get over it, and get all the sex out of it.
Yeah.
That would be my thing.
I like it. Beach volleyball is nasty.
It's great.
God, it's hard. You described that perfectly. No one's having fun out there.
No.
The worst surface in sports. All right. I'm going to...
Thank you. Off to the kids.
Yeah, thanks. For me, I don't know what...
I'm doing a chess puzzle every day.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And it's, and we got a knot of the week rolling.
Wash a car, tie a knot, and do a chess puzzle.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like easy add-ons that are skill-based and have a progressive nature to them. It's pretty cool. It's kind of fun. It might be fun sometime to just get some of the folks out there homeschooling together and talk.
Greg, I've been reading fat and cholesterol don't cause heart attacks and statins are not the solution. Thank you for recommending the eye opener.
Thank you, Ethan. Yeah, it's an epic work. And it even dips into the seed oil world, and there's amazing stuff there. Absolutely amazing. That cholesterol skeptics network is a glorious thing.
Who wrote that book? You remember?
Paul Roche put it together, who's since passed on and was one of our dear friends. You remember him in the company cafeteria?
Yeah. He came with his niece or something.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Delightful man. He was a psychiatrist that saw, right? Or was he an endocrinologist?
Or was he an engineer?
No, he was a doctor.
Okay. I figured out a way so every time a book is mentioned, I can put it very easily in the show. So, of course, I can't find that book.
Can I have a book list at Amazon?
Yeah, totally. We totally need to do that.
Yeah, help me set that up.
Okay, we need to get you a Twitter account too. I know I keep mentioning that to you. You should be tweeting every single day.
I think I'm ready.
Yeah.
Maybe Elon will give me the old account back.
Yeah. Can you ask someone to get it back for you?
Say what?
Can you ask someone to get it back for you? Like, do you know someone who could ask Elon, hey?
I think so. Those guys are really fucking busy right
now. Hey, they're having a blast too, right? They're having a blast.
The chant from the Dems is lock him up. They think that he deserves prison for what he's done. Those are my fellow countrymen. Yeah, what a great place to end.
All right. Bye, everyone. See you guys later. Greg,
hey, you're coming out this way.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, bye.
All right. Ciao, brother. Another week with the great Greg Glassman. Thanks, guys, for being patient with me. I'm looking for this Paul Roche book so I can tag it in the show. I don't know if I can go to lunch at 12. What if I'm not better by 12? I might be. Back shit's weird. Back shit is weird. How come I can't find it? How come I can't find that book? Oh, I was looking for it wrong. Maybe this is it. I had a great time with Jake Chapman yesterday. Huh. I can't find it. Right. I don't know what happened to my back. My back was fine. I was just sitting there. It was fine. Yes, I didn't even work out yesterday. I was just chilling. I just took my kids to jiu-jitsu and I was just sitting in the couch there and I felt it tightening up and I'm like, oh, this is weird. My back's tightening up. So I started like moving around a little bit. And then by the time I got home, I couldn't fucking move. Sucks. I hope it goes away maybe it'll go away. Maybe it was because I didn't work out. Maybe it just tightened up because I didn't work out yesterday. I don't fucking know. BPC 157. No, I don't think it's anything like that. I think that there's just something back there that's tight. I think basically I was just lifting too heavy. You want to know what it is? I think it is after talking to Greg. It's probably because I discovered I could do double unders if I put shoes on. So I did 5 sets of 20, and then I haven't done wall balls in 5 years. And even though I was using an 8-pound ball, I did, a couple big sets of. I think I did like 4 sets of 20 and then a set of 40 with wall balls. And I was like, this shit's easy. And then I was like thinking I was the shit. And then fucking the next day I can't move. It's fucked up. I haven't felt like this, and this is the worst I felt in fucking 3 years. This sucks. I'm just gonna fast today. I'm just not gonna eat and hope it goes away. Where the hell did Greg go? I don't know. To the bathroom or to the kitchen or to his schoolroom? I don't know where he went. Barbell Spin made this post. Someone sent this to me this morning. I thought it was pretty funny. Barbell Spin made this post, and it's some girl, Elisa Fuliano. I think she was the Adobe. She's like a graphic design. I just remember this girl because, wow, this is not a very flattering picture of her. She's a beautiful girl. She's like a graphic designer in Italy or something, and she has some disease or something, and she wasn't supposed to make it to the games, and then she made it to the games, and it was like a pretty it was a pretty cool story. It was a pretty compelling story. And then I guess she's not doing the games this year. This is a fucking horrible picture of her. What the fuck is her chin doing? Anyway, so the great Caleb Beaver wrote, "Oh, look, nobody cares." And then this guy right here writes, this is what someone took a screenshot and sent this to me. Gotta love a grown man getting his feelings hurt by something like this. By the way, Sevon is one of the biggest douches in history. Yeah, she's a pretty girl. Yeah, I think she's hot. Yeah. That's just a fucked up photo of her. She looked hot at Wadapalooza. If it's the same girl, I think it is. One of the biggest douches in history. I think that's a little dramatic. In history, yeah, I'm a Mount. Where did someone write that? I'm a Mount. You made it to Mount Rushmore. I know that's crazy, right? One of the biggest douches in history. This guy's got to be European. Let me see this guy's profile. Dude, you have a filter on you're a man that has a filter on your photo, Paulie. Anyway, that seems like a lot. Biggest douche in history? Man. All right. I don't know. What should I comment? What can I say back to that guy? Let's do a contest. What can I say back to this guy? How do I reply? Oh, there. What do I say back to this guy? He's got to be Canadian. No, Canadians aren't even that gay. That dude's European for sure. I know you are, but what am I? Not bad. Thank you. Are his feelings hurt since he commented? Just say thanks. Sevon catching strays. I know. But nothing. He just wants attention. I'm not supposed to give him attention. I douche your mom. That's not what your mom said. Yo, mama. Say I agree. Jesus loves you. Oh, that's solid. Oh, still making history. That's a good one. Like something like, hey, I haven't even begun. Not a big enough douche for your mom. Not bad. I like your mom ones. You don't even know. I can be way worse. When someone calls me a douche, I think it's a good thing. I thought that's what Avi calls you. Yeah. I say he does call me a douche. Your mom joke would be good too. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Sevon is one of the biggest douches in history. It is in a weird way kind of flattering. Well, yeah, why wouldn't he just say Sevon's a douche? By the way, Sevon is a world-class douche. Sevon has set that bar high for being a douche. I haven't ever had to douche. I don't think you're supposed to douche. I think it's bad for you. First off, fucker, you're a bitch and the clique you claim. It is weird that I do think it's weird when men use filters on their photos. I mean, he has no texture on his. He's got to be like I mean, look at his shirt. He's got to be some gay European country. He's like Finnish or something, right? Or he's something up there, Swiss or God. How do I find out? How do I find out? How do I find out? Oh, I can't even click any of these things. Shouldn't I be able to click who the fuck? How do I can you think I could just Google his name? What is he that he's so smooth like that? Like what country do the men use filters? I know what cities do in our country, like San Francisco. Oh, it's something in Russian? Um What is that guy? Oh, his name is I don't know what. Oh, maybe I can translate this. What does this mean? Oh shit, I think I accidentally followed him. Oh, fuck me. Damn it. I accidentally put in a follow request for him. That didn't go over good. Yet. I need to how do I undo that request? Son of a bitch. Welcome to the part of the show where a fucking 50-year-old tries to use Instagram. Requested. Fuck, I don't even know how to unrequest. Oh, unfollow. Jesus Christ almighty. All right. All right. Wish me luck. Say a prayer for me. If you do like that show Chosen, there's a cool documentary about it. I watched the first episode last night. It was pretty cool. You get to know the guy who played Jesus and like how it's affecting his life. I think they made it after 2 seasons. What's crazy is I watched that I was just climbed into bed yesterday and I clicked on that. I clicked on that documentary and I saw it was crowdfunded, and that's what I wanna do. I wanna crowdfund a Kill Taylor show for the police or for the military. I want us to figure out how I'm gonna do that. I need to figure out how I'm gonna do that. Stop being a puss. Dude, I so wish. Go do some hot yoga. Dude, I can't even fucking move. I don't think you understand. When I get out of this chair, it's gonna be, like, really weird. Was there a knock knock joke in here? Oh, yeah. Knock knock, yes. I don't think you're old enough to watch this show. Knock knock. Abby here. Abby who? Abby who? Knock, knock. Abby here. Abby who? Abby who? Abby at the Sevon podcast. Okay. All right. Don't ever do that again. I'm not really Jesus, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Yeah, we can see your chats. I should just lay in bed and listen to music. I look tired. I'm definitely not tired. I slept like a fucking rock last night. Maybe it's just all the drugs I took. I took 2 shots of NyQuil and 3 Advil. But I'm definitely not tired. Hey, what's up, dude?
It looked like you could use.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. What'd you say? Say it again. I look like I could use what? Hello? Hello?
Yo, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, hi. What'd you say? It looks like I could use some what?
A laugh. You want to laugh real quick?
Yeah. Tell me.
So I'm putting together these employees that I manage at my job. I'm putting together like bios and stuff like slideshows and stuff. And I come across this one girl who I've kind of been warned to choose my words carefully around her because she's kind of the super woke type.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at part of her bio that she sent me, and I'll read it to you. She attended college at UW, whatever. She majored in political science and democracy and justice studies with the emphasis in women and gender studies, especially looking at medical racism.
Oh, wow.
What does that mean? Medical racism?
I don't know, but that's I don't know what I think medical racism is like if you don't let black people to the front of the line to get the COVID shot. Or was it, how like they tried to do all the blacks first? Maybe that was just a conspiracy to kill the blacks.
Ooh. Wow, we're getting deep.
Yeah.
We are getting deep. I mean, the number one demographic in the inner city that gets the most amount of free healthcare, definitely the black people. So
I think
what is medical race? Is it against the white people maybe?
I think the story is, God, I've looked into it before, but I think the story is like they get lesser health care. I mean, I don't know.
Black people do?
I mean, definitely rich people just get better shit everywhere, and like it makes sense because they can pay for it, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I worked in the inner city for a long time, specifically at the Social Security Administration, and we did a lot with the state as far as Medicaid. It was what we called it here. And they never complained to me. These people on SSI, they never came in and complained to me about any sort of doctor being racist or lack of healthcare. I mean, they're getting free healthcare, and from what they're telling, maybe they don't know any better. Maybe their definition of good healthcare would differ from someone who is paying for it or working. But I never heard anything about medical racism from these people. I never heard anything about lack of anything.
Imagine paying money to go to school. Imagine paying money to go to school to learn about that shit. That shit's crazy.
I know. Women and gender studies, justice studies, medical racism. Oh my God! It just confirmed. All right, I gotta be real careful around this young lady. Can't let too many things. Definitely can't let her hear you.
Very careful. Send her my way. I can slowly unfuck her.
I'll send her a link. You can have her on and
here's
ask
one.
her what the heck medical racism means.
Here, it's like black women are much more likely to die during childbirth, even controlled for wealth, and if serviced by black caregivers. There you go. Like that's the kind of shit they say, right? And then from there, it's just straight racism. They're not interested. They're not interested in a solution. That's why they always. It's just like, it's like blaming everything on God, or it's just one of those things. Like it's a catch-all.
What would they have to study then? You know, like this girl clearly isn't interested in actually studying something that could add value to her life or anyone else's life. She just had these thoughts, these ideas that women are treated as less than, they don't make as much money, and there's medical racism, and she found degrees that suited her. And I'm imagining, you know, political science degrees, all that, have to bring in a pretty penny for university. So if those went away, what would these kids do? They'd have to actually go to school for something that means something.
Right. All right.
Wild.
Thank you. Always good to hear your voice.
Yeah.
All right.
Talk to you soon. Peace.
Ciao. Holy shit. Sebi, try some ivermectin. All right. I can't even fake it anymore. I love you guys. I'll see you guys later. What's today? Crash day, Wednesday. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you. Good morning. Bye-bye.